how much time did you have with Daniel leading up to Casino Royale? Like how long did it take you to get in him? I mean, I'm assuming he was already in pretty good shape. I mean, he was a working actor, but like, from the time that you started working with him to, let's say, that scene where he's coming out of the water, like how long did it take?
So the process is that I would get like him and I got like a call probably maybe 4 months before pre-production. So and I got flown to Washington, and he was on a different movie,
Hmm.
and I met him in Washington, and we went out, discussed it, went out for dinner, discussed like what he wanted to do, what he wanted to achieve, and then it's for me to kind of like then go away and go, well, this is how we're gonna like apply this. And it is, I mean, and I've told this story quite a few times, and I banged on his trailer door when he was there, and he had a bacon sandwich in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and kind of like, oh no, you're the trainer guy. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh God, I'll just finish these for the last time, I think. So but I think he probably quite enjoyed that. I think that's a thing where, some people, it's like, someone comes into your life and you get maybe rid of those bad habits and start better habits. So yeah, that's happened there. Probably about 4 months, and then the scene. I remember reading the script, and that's what I do. I break down the script into two parts: the aesthetic and the athletic.
Hmm.
So I need to know what I'm working on and the time frames that I've got to achieve the desired results. So and then I can see that, and then so what I do is I read the script. I go, okay, okay, and then there'll be a schedule of when they're going to shoot those particular shots. So I just like highlight exactly kind of like in the script what it is, but it was tied to a chair, naked, coming out the sea, kind of like just in kind of like these kind of shorts. Um, you know, like taking some shrapnel out of your chest, but it's a full kind of like frontal kind of like shot, like all these things, and I just highlight them all. And then I look at the athletic portion, sprinting like through a jungle, like over a fence, landing on some sand, going up some scaffolding. After the scaffolding, doing a fight scene at height, and you just think the systems that he's using, the physiological systems, because I'm literally kind of like then doing a transfer to kind of like going, right, this is on paper. I'm now looking at the effects this is going to have on the body. So what systems are going to be used? You know, is he going to burn out his adrenals? Is he going to like is he going to like really kind of like struggle for energy on this scene? Is he, think about the hydration, think about kind of, all the things that the physiological effects that a trainer would kind of like think about and have to implement to get that person to be able to do X, Y, and Z. So, and then when I can see the water scene, I then have the schedule. I put a big red X there.
Hmm.
And then I do the periodization back to where we're at now. How many weeks have I kind of like got? What's the typical kind of like rate that I could maybe kind of get him to, can I get him to put on like a little bit more muscle and compromise having a bit more body fat and then drop back down again? Or am I gonna risk it and just go, let's just kind of like let's not go down the heavy lifting, like high protein, kind of like typical, like maybe bodybuilding kind of like diet, because that's then gonna really compromise his kind of like his athletic ability, because we might lose some flexibility, and it might put a bit more of a strain on his cardiovascular system carrying a bit more weight.
Hmm.
So I'm constantly reevaluating, and I just look like every couple of weeks, and I think actually we're doing okay. Body fat's kind of like not bad. We're kind of like quite stable with body fat. He's happy on that kind of like that blend of macros, and he's performing well. And then we get to kind of like maybe 3 4 weeks out from that scene, and that's when, you know, again it just comes to I just dropped dropped to drop the carbs a little bit, increase the cardio a little bit, still using the same method, but just adding a couple more minutes of kind of like cardio, and just taking out like maybe 200 300 kind of like calories, or changing calories around, just changing the mix a little bit.
Hmm.
And then I would do a little bit thinking about kind of would the dehydration thing work, like, and recarbing work on that scene. And I'm thinking, dare I give it a go? Because you've got to do this whilst working. You got to do it well. Okay, I'm going to give it a little go. So and then because I've got his trust, things start to change without him realizing that they're changing.
Hmm.
So like none of those potatoes today. So things are changing. I just changed them like a watch, and then again I just increased water. So I had that. I had the. It's a very old kind of like technique of what I thought would kind of like work, increasing like lots and lots and lots and lots of water. So
Hmm.
so getting the brain to get used to kind of like 4 liters P, 4 liters P, 4 liters P, and I keep that process carbs low, 4 liters P, carbs low, and and I think I kind of like I made it work, and then on the day I do the kind of like very old like technique. It's like kind of like the 4 liters P. The brain is knowing that that's what it's processing on a daily basis, and on the day I kind of like stop. I kind of so on the day I basically just implement half a liter.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like
So you kind of dehydrate him a little bit
well, a
to
little
make
bit,
with the
yes.
goal of making him look a little more
Yeah,
vascular.
just a little bit more vascular. So again, the 4 liters P kind of like process that kind of like works, and then on the day of the race is just kind of like half a liter, and the brain still processes 4 liters. So it's still kind of like peeing out 4 liters. So you lose a little bit of kind of like water,
Hmm.
and then obviously I just give a little bit more carbohydrate, a bit more vascular. The kind of like the cells just kind of like fill up, and we
Because
get
you're dehydrated, but you're flooding the
yeah,
muscles with what, glycogen,
yeah,
which so
yeah,
you're bringing water into the
yeah.
muscles, but wow,
So and it's a very old well it's a very old kind of like process if I'm honest.
yeah,
It derives from those old kind of like bodybuilding days, and the night before it's like literally trying to trying to get everything every little and you eat like the worst thing, like you kind of, oh, we need a bit of fructose and some oats, and let's put some chocolate in there, and it's like and let's make it into a shake, and you're literally kind of like getting the pump shake,
hmm,
and yeah, yeah,
amazing,
and it worked, and it's not horrendously kind of like scientific. It's not the people, but people would break that down into, well, it can't work because it's this, and well, it shouldn't work because it's that. You know what? Sometimes things just kind of like work because they work, and because you're there and you're watching and you're observing and you're seeing the physiological effects, you're thinking, okay, yeah, because what works for one doesn't work for another.
hmm,
That's what we kind of like that's what we typically know about everybody.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, obviously, he's so incredibly lucky to have somebody like you know, on his team to get him into that shape. But I think what's so empowering, particularly for your average person, my listeners, is that this is not like, I mean, he's still bound to the limits of the human body,
Yes.
so you can only push him so hard. And I read, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, he was still having like beers on weekends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I think kind of like that's when we come to the the mental side of things, and that's when you need a little bit of a we need a little bit of a break, and we still kind of do that now on a lot of kind of like things,
Hmm.
and we have kind of like and we have definitely kind of like I don't really like calling it like a cheat day, because you're not really cheating.
It's part of the plan.
Yeah, we just have a fun normal.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to normalize it, because it's just what you do at the weekend. You work hard, and you do everything that you need to do, and you achieve everything you need to achieve, and then at the weekends you're with either friends or you're with a family, and you're out and you're relaxed, just doing family and friend stuff,
Hmm.
and that's great. It's good to have a little bit of um, like dirty nutrition at the weekend. Why not?
Hmm.
It's like that's if that's what you fancy. But some people don't. I mean, I'm kind of like I'm easy. I mean, I use my time away to be maybe that 10% more kind of stricter or stringent while I'm away, because it's just a bit easier. Because again, we're in that controlled environment. But then when I'm at home, I have I've got kids that I have to finish their ice cream, and I've got so all those things that just currently go, just unconsciously, and that's just life. You have to have those things, and we would go out and have a relaxation time of a few beers, and a lie in, and not be so kind of like strict,
I
and
love it.
that's just the way it is.
Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.